Welcome back. I'm glad we're not stranded 50 feet up into the air, but also, with the likes of these treasures, sure, I've thought about what can they be sold for? What abilities can they have? What is actually out there and hidden? Didn't think about what about who wields them? If each of these treasures have their own little fun use case and power, if it fell into the wrong hands, well, I'm not sure how, the lie detector one could be used for evil, but things could go awry very quickly. So with the likes of a cane that could do any of the user's bidding, what exactly is the plan? All I know is, throughout all of this, I'd probably rather just be sat in the apartment playing Tekken. Speaking of which, there's a certain ghost that we need to catch up with. So sit down, get a drink. Let's begin. "42 seconds into the bout, and she's reflective on the second player. I'm guessing that's her old roommate. Is that one of the many ones before, or just the one that left the notebook? Didn't think of that. To cover up the truth of the fact they'd get rid of everyone in the way. A future forecast mirror. I'm not sure I'd want to know my future. But if this is a possibility of what can be, I'm not sure it's that useful. Because if it's easily changed, you know what? Nah, I won't go to the shop then if a car's going to come along. How set in stone is the future? Are you going to check every eventuality of what might happen? Or what's going to happen if I have a sandwich or noodles for lunch? Is it going to be used for such mundane matters? And considering the landlady and their attachment to Nanana in the beginning, they said they were friends. Is she going to be part of the story again, actually going to help out? Have any invaluable information for us? Dreams, ambitions, and denial. Attractions. So they've tracked down after a long time trying to 100 million yen? I expected more. If a cane that can do anything with an artifact that can breed one's wishes and make them manifest. They've been through a lot. It could be dangerous. Considering they were just left suspended into the air not too long ago. She can be so meek. A master detective tracking them down. It's a weird smile. And using that meekness as a way into lower guards. A rubber mask. And then he just pulls the hat out. And how many How many bits of latex and rubber mask does he have on him? Can he change faces at a moment's notice, or does he need time to prepare? Well, they're having fun. Letting off a bit of steam before the big match. Handing over the lie-detecting crystal thing. Oh, you won't mind if I try it out? The fact that he's prostrating himself, asking for help. Does she need that get-up, the outfit that she's wearing here? In fact, he's willing to go to such lengths. I was about to say, in what manner is she dealing with her? Straight to hand-to-hand combat, and actually animated pretty well. And now that she's out of the way, in the background, just having that little fight, we can ignore it, apparently. Can you manifest money with the staff? With a staff that can make anything reality, sure, you're one step... Where have I seen that face before? One step towards the goal of taking over the world, but all it takes is a moment where he's sleeping, snipe around from a kilometre away. That staff won't be of much use. I mean, he saw part of it being used before, but also fire, water, earth. What's next? Is he gonna create a whirlwind? I was joking. He didn't need to use the 4 elements. His idea of how to use the staff is quite limited, really. Or does it have to be quite simple commands? He is a god of this world now. And like I was thinking, what if it falls into the wrong hands? What kind of person wouldn't you want touching the treasures and the relics? He's giving me a certain character from a certain magical index, certain scientific railgun, Doma. He is... Well, people give up on their dreams all the time, and there is a very much conflict of realities and ideals. What's going to win out? A staff of flames, or... I'm not sure what he's bringing to the table, actually. They're not... It looks flashy, but they're not exactly lethal attacks being used. If he wanted to win so badly, just, end it outright. I need to prattle on. Really, it's the first time we're hearing this. We saw how hard-headed he was before, and he just charges in with no next plan other than just move forward. Dragon's having a nap. Wait, that was his plan? Instead, it's as many wishes until it needs to recharge. And how do you recharge it? You get something like 10 wishes a day. And then once that belief in the all-powerfulness of the artifacts is questioned, it looks like he's lost all his bluster. Is he going to give up on his dreams now? Yeah, that's why I'm getting that feeling. Doesn't have much but his fist. As one who understands that what dreams mean. Awfully quiet. Never actually landed the blow. Well, it looks like he's admitted defeat already, so... A third party. A new challenger has arrived. And how did her fight go? Okay. He sensed a bit of himself. I've seen stupider dreams. I've watched Chainsaw Man after all. He's the worst. Are they here to make a deal? 777, the treasure police. Yeah, ha 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 ha. You can't expect a master detective to sit back and do nothing. She might not be fighting in hand-to-hand combat. There is something else she can do. A messenger? When she was arrested for the theft, she did so much more. I see. No deal. So, sell the cane? For that 100 million we talked of earlier? Okay. So that's how much dreams are worth. So, easy come, easy go. Can't complain, a bunch of money, even if it is a devastation to his idea of the future. Power corrupts and all that. And then will he try taking over the world again? They actually work together without wanting to destabilize everything. He looks so much better 3 centimeters shorter. Excuse me? Never try and get something past her, apparently. You forget she's the... So there's no great deciphering or anything, just, I looked at your phone. Is it because it was on silent? Uh-huh. He was in on it all along. You know, either he's just incredibly lucky and unlucky, or there's more. He is a genius thief in of his own right. Hacked. It's just an online forum. He just uses Reddit too much. That's what it is. That's why he went to a life of crime. Why is she admitting to all of this, by the way? I mean, they had a lot of time to themselves, so... Well, can she be trustful in anyone or anything? Is everything going to be something to investigate? Thoroughbred evil. Take away the calculating mind, and he's partway there. He is the true villain of this story. Oh, there'll be, what, neighbours? It's not going to be a quiet evening, is it? Family call. Since it sounded interesting. Not to see how you are, not to catch up, make sure you're safe, not just, kind of interesting. And who is the cane being passed? Oh, it's locked away. Okay. Being bought by the government, put into a vault. Now all it takes is someone to get in there, have all sorts of trinkets at their disposal. Of course, everyone likes to believe that they are an enigma, an unknown entity. I mean, they are all over him, just slightly interesting. He's not going to mention Duck. Well, that's what he did say about girls, though, so fair. At this point, if you didn't think that she was slightly amazing, in some aspects anyway, then it would be a lie. Anyone that can come up with a plan, get the government to go along with it, well, believe her in one aspect, but also keep autonomy. Seriously? Everyone's at each other's throats all the time. He is so untrusting. So was he exiled to have a bit of personal growth, to get past his own moral failings? I thought he just dropped and kicked his phone, but no, that was just some dust. One wants to give away to avert his future. Game over. For that controller, that device, this is a fairly nice. Well, if he wasn't there, I don't think it would have been such a good bounce. But she's had many years of practice. Yeah, why has he still got it? So, yeah, he is the villain. I don't think there's going to be much teaming up with them afterwards. To be fair, a lie detector is incredibly useful, especially when there's so many with underhanded and questionable motives. You'll be able to tell who's actually an ally or not. There's no falsehoods in that statement. Can he turn it on himself to see if that's true, if that statement? Does it tell truths and lies based on one's feelings or actual realities of the universe? Because it's a lie detector, not a possibility detector. But there was a small couple of developments in this one which I wasn't quite expecting. Having the main lead be the villain of the piece. He's not just some, I do this for justice. It's the right thing to do. It's more, well, you pissed me off. And the actual steps towards the goals, they can be a little underhanded. He'll use people and their wants as long as it gets him where it needs to be. He lives firmly in the grey area, doesn't he? It's a very monochrome world, that. But to be fair, after the conversation with his dad on the phone, things are a little complicated. Didn't expect, well, after being exiled, I guess, him overcoming pressures being put on him, him wanting to escape and not fulfill wants and desires of others. Live for himself, no matter what aspect that takes. But you can tell he has such a nice home life. I don't think he's going to be invited back for a grand reunion anytime soon. Well, more like he wouldn't want to go back. But also having the relics out there, the artifacts which can cause mass devastation if they wanted, having The powerful ones have a drawback. They're not all-encompassing. They're not all-powerful. They're not these paradigm-shifting... Well, they are paradigm-shifting, but within a small remit. They need to recharge. They can only be used in certain niche situations. No wonder it only sells for 100 million yen. But these dumb dreams wanting to take over the world. Was that before or after he discovered the existence of these treasures? Because if it was always a grand ambition, even from a young age, well, who are we to tell him that it was a dumb idea? But it's good to know that there's a character in here who can't be deceived with all of the small machinations and plans for all of this. You're 3 centimeters taller. Either you've had a growth spurt or it's someone else wearing a mask. What else is there going to be that she sees that we don't? Now, also during that scene, I did think, oh, he looks a little tall. Maybe it's just the camera angle or just being off-model. Didn't think of it at all until she said about 3 centimeters. And then, because of that, in that altercation at the end where he was outside of his apartment, 3 centimeters looks a hell of a lot more, doesn't it? That looks more kind of even in height. But I am enjoying this show. Only 4 episodes in, we've had mystery, betrayal, new characters introduced. We have a main character who is an enigma, not just a go-lucky, do the right thing main protagonist. He is deeply flawed. He will use and abuse people where it furthers his goals, what he wants, while not just out and out evil. It's just a little bit of deception and shenanigans. Just a sprinkling of outlaw. If he was just fully good, I'd question some motives. This one, I can get behind. But what's going to come out of it? Is he going to find the same love of adventure and treasure hunting? Is Nanana's killer ever going to come to light? The first one had to give up out of fear of their own demise. Will he have that same self-preservation instincts? We'll have to see. With all of the relics out there, I wouldn't be surprised if it was something outlandish and grand. But at least there's a master detective who may be able to lend some assistance. If you have enjoyed this episode, and if you want to see more, make sure to come back for the next one. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out. But most importantly, for me at least, leave a like on the video. It's free, it's simple, and it makes me record more. There is a direct correlation between how eager I am to continue watching and your engagement. But get some rest. Let's see how our dreams and ideals hold up against scrutiny. And I'll see you in the next one. If you want to be the fist of vengeance laying down the law for my channel, consider joining onto my Patreon, because by helping me out, I won't have to turn to evil to fulfill my plans. So I do need to thank Noku, Sao, Guado, Kite, Ribbon Filamawa, Raywin, Wolfie Sensei, and everyone else. Now I just need to find something that I can sell for 100 million.